This video is brought to you by Soundcore. The Soundcore Rave 3S is here and it's ready to change the game when it comes to karaoke party speakers. Now, we have a lot to talk about, so let's not waste any time. So first up, let's talk about the design and the build quality. Now, what we've got here with the Soundcore Rave 3S is a solid plastic build. So similar to Soundcore's other speakers like the Boom 2, Boom 2 Plus, and other Rave models. You're getting the same level of build quality you see from competitors like JBL or Sony. So right up front, you got the metal mesh grille with the Soundcore logo. With a speaker this big, you can't expect it to be light, but surprisingly enough, this big guy comes in at around 23 pounds with the microphones included. You also have a lift handle right up top for easy movement. Now around back, you've got a couple of slots for the included dual wireless microphones. You also have a trap door that hides a charging port as well as other connection options. More on those shortly. The Rave 3S also carries an IPX4 water resistance rating, so that's good for splashes or light rain, but I would strongly avoid fully submerging this particular speaker. Now moving over to the top of the speaker, we've got the controls. So starting right here with the power button, you've also got the power level LEDs and a pairing button right here. Now next to that, we have the buttons for the bass up, Auracast, and light controls. Below those, we have track control with previous track, play pause, and next track. Moving up towards the top, we have dual control knobs. Now, the knob on the far left controls the overall speaker volume level. The one in the middle controls the mic reverb level for karaoke usage. Now, last but not least, we have the big blue button for AI vocal removal. Now, this is one cool party trick that can turn any song into an instrumental at the push of a button. Pretty dope feature if you ask me, and it's not something that we normally see on Bluetooth speakers. Now, I'll be sharing some sound samples of how that works later in this video. Now moving us over to connectivity, the Rave 3S can easily be paired with both Android and iOS devices. The Rave 3S features Bluetooth 5.3 with SBC and AAC as the connection codecs. Multi-point connectivity is also available for up to 2 devices. Now, when it comes to the Rave 3S, you also have additional inputs right around the back as I mentioned before. One of them is a 3.5mm and the other is a 1/4 inch jack for your wired mics or guitar inputs. And there is a switch so you can select between either or. There are also additional controls for these ports such as gain, microphone volume, and a guitar mic selector switch. Lastly, the Rave 3S does support Auracast, allowing you to pair multiple speakers together if you wish. Definitely a cool feature to have on a speaker like this. Now, when it comes to battery life, Soundcore is claiming it comes in at 12 hours on a full charge, but that's going to vary based on volume level, LED lighting, as well as EQ settings like bass up that use additional power. In a party setting with full features active in a higher volume level like 70% or more, you can expect probably right around 3 to 5 hours worth of playback time. Now, charging the speaker comes via USB-C port found on the back near the secondary connections. Now, that's going to bring us over to the Soundcore app. So you do have app support for the Rave 3S, and this app is available for Android and iOS devices. Now, when you first open up the app, you're going to see the speaker battery bar with a percentage number, a power off button, as well as a settings gear. Now below this, you'll see the volume slider so you can make volume adjustments right here on the fly, a play pause button as well. Below this, you have what's called the AI feature, and inside here you get the AI vocal removal, which you can adjust from 1 to 4 levels, and the auto guide vocal, which automatically raises and lowers vocals as you start and stop singing. Overall, kind of a cool feature. I couldn't get it to work very well in my testing, but it is something that's cool to have. Now backing out of here, you have the karaoke button, and inside here you have the reverb, which is 4 presets plus a dial so you can adjust it yourself. And below that, you have the vocal enhancer, which is another 4 presets, and this sort of changes the tone of your voice as you're singing. Now backing out of here, you go to the EQ settings, and in here we have 4 EQ presets: signature, voice, treble, and balanced. And you also have an additional toggle for the bass up. Below that, you have the custom EQ, and in here you have a 9-band equalizer or a full band for fine tuning if you really want to dial things in. Personally, I prefer the balanced EQ preset, but more on EQ and sound later in this video. Now backing out of there, again, we have another bass up toggle, and then we have the spatial audio toggle. Now this is only available when the speaker is lying on its side. You can actually toggle it on, and it actually works. It sounds surprisingly good. Now that's going to bring us over to the LED lights, and this is where you can take full control of all the LED lights on the front of the Rave 3S. So right up top, you have the brightness slider, then we have an on and off toggle, you have your 8 lighting options, and you have the custom option to create your own lighting presets. All of that said, you don't have to download the app to use the Rave 3S. The app simply allows you to take full control over the sound quality and the lighting features. That's it. No requirement to use it unless you actually want to. Now that's going to bring us over to the sound and the volume. Now, much like Soundcore's previous party speakers, the Rave 3S is delivering big bass and high volume in a solid package. It's packing three 2.5-inch full range speakers to deliver the mids and treble, along with a 6.5-inch woofer to deliver deep, thumping bass. The Rave 3S also brings 200 watts of power, making easy work of delivering big music to larger spaces. Now, Soundcore was claiming over 108 decibels worth of volume, and I can easily vouch for that. 50% volume is overkill indoors, much less 100%. I'm usually kind of listening to it anywhere between 15 and 30% volume when I'm just vibing indoors. So needless to say, this speaker gets absurdly loud. It's more than enough to piss off your neighbors. I'm just saying. Now, when it comes to the sound quality, with the Soundcore Signature EQ, you get strong, punchy bass response, especially with bass up active. This thing absolutely slaps. Like, if I have it on in here at like 50% volume, I can hear things kind of rattling inside my house, which is pretty wild. Now, despite its bass heavy nature, the vocals still come in clear and precise, if slightly recessed in my opinion. So I prefer using the balanced EQ preset with the bass up active for an improved experience. Now, this EQ dials back the bass boost, allowing the mid-range to shine a bit more in the mix. And this makes listening to rock, R&B, and ballads much more enjoyable in my opinion. You also have the ability to create your own EQ presets if you wish. While the Rave 3S responds well to EQ adjustments, I ended up just sticking with the balanced EQ as it sounded better than anything I was able to come up with. Lastly, the Rave 3S also has a spatial audio feature, as I mentioned before, that can be used when the speaker is laid down on its left side. It does a really good job of creating a wider, more immersive soundstage with like live recordings and things of that nature. It's a cool feature to have, not something that I'll probably be using much of, but still, it's a nice to have. So now let's get into some sound quality clips. Now, no, I'm not going to be singing on the microphone, so you can forget about that. You guys aren't going to catch me slipping out here and put clips of me on TikTok or whatever. That's not going to happen. But, however, I will be including some mic clips so you can hear what I sound like, as well as sound tests from the speaker itself. I'm also going to be sharing the AI vocal removal feature so you can hear what that sounds like. Now would be a good time to put on your headphones or some earbuds. So now let's try out the AI vocal removal on some R&B music once again. So as you can see, it actually works surprisingly good. Now, you can still hear a little bit of the voice when you do have it on max AI vocal removal, but considering that normally you would be singing over that while you're doing karaoke, you're not even going to be able to notice it. So overall, I'm surprisingly impressed with this feature. Okay, so now let's jump in here with a quick microphone sample for the mics that are included with the Soundcore Rave 3S. So here's one of the mics right here. I'm currently recording my voice. You're hearing me through the Sennheiser microphones at the moment, but let's go ahead and hear what I sound like through the included mics. So testing, 1, 2, 3, mic test, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is some pretty aggressive noise canceling on these microphones. So if I don't speak loud enough, there is a voice cut, and you really need to have this microphone right up against your mouth in order for it to pick up your voice clearly. Now with this microphone and with the Soundcore app, you do have the ability to change the tone of your voice. So you do have some options in there as well. This is with my voice on the balanced option, or neutral, I think is what it was called. But that's what we've got here. So test, 1, 2, 3. Now, personally, I'm enjoying the sound quality and bass response of the Rave 3S. Using that balanced EQ along with the bass up feature activated, it has that rich sound signature with excellent kick and bass, as I mentioned before. So really, really good to listen to with a wide variety of genres. And I listen to everything, man, from Selena to The Sacred Souls, Nirvana to Kendrick Lamar, Pantera, E40, Blackpink, just everything that you can think of. If you name it, I probably tested it with this speaker. And overall, really, really good. Now, stereo separation and soundstage are also pretty good with high quality live recordings, especially as I mentioned before, when you're using that spatial audio feature. So overall, I'm truly impressed with the overall sound and the high power that the Rave 3S can deliver at this price point. Now, if I have to give Soundcore any constructive criticism on this speaker, basically not so much on the speaker, but it's going to be about the microphones that they included. So for me, the mics, first and foremost, they have a very aggressive noise gate on the included mics. You have to sing above a certain volume level or the mics will simply not pick up your voice at all. So I noticed when I was testing it that it was like my voice kept cutting in and out if I didn't really, one, project my voice, and two, I basically had to be eating the microphone. Like I had to have my mouth up against it for it to really pick up my voice. So just something to keep in mind there. Also, there is some noticeable hiss in the mics when there's no music playing. So if you're just talking through it, you can kind of hear this odd little hissing noise. Now, it's not really a deal breaker, all things considered. This still works well enough for, for karaoke fun, right? It's not for pro recording. We're not doing anything on a professional level here, but for partying and just enjoying and having a good time with your friends, this is going to be plenty fine. But these two things still bothered me enough that I figured I should still bring them to your attention here. With that out of the way, if you're interested in checking out the Rave 3S for yourself, check out the links that I'll be leaving in the video description and in the pinned comment. If there is a discount code, I'll leave that for you there as well. Now, for full disclosure, this video was sponsored by Soundcore, as I said at the very beginning of this video. Despite this, they received no rights for script approval and were not allowed to see this video prior to it being published. They're watching this video at the same time that you are. As such, I'm still free to tell you exactly how I truly feel about the speaker, whether good or bad. Now, if I didn't actually like this product, I wouldn't have agreed to feature the Rave 3S on my channel. Now, I'm telling you all of this because I believe in transparency and honesty with you as the viewer. As always, please be sure to watch multiple videos before making your final purchase decision. Now, if you're interested in watching a video about my favorite Soundcore earbuds, check out the video that I'll leave for you right up here on the screen. With that said, my name is JEFE, and I'm out.